California. Check it out. How beautiful is my background today, y'all? Do y'all see this? We are on a ranch and we actually have these really cool bubble houses that we rented out. Check it out. How cool is that? Does this not feel super galactic? I know, right? Just giving you a little tour of my scenery today. We are heading back today from Oro Grande. I looked it up last night to figure out what Oro meant, and it's gold. So Big Gold Valley is where we're at right now. So I think it's really cool. I was doing some stargazing last night out here, and I saw all the different constellations that are out here. It was funny, I was looking up at the stars and I was like, oh, I think that's Gemini, you know, and I was like outlining the two twins and the stars, and I was like, you know, of course, how fitting, because I'm a Gemini, like I would see Gemini. And then I got out my little sky view finder to see like if it was actually what I was seeing, and it wasn't. It was actually Virgo above me, and the Boots constellation over to the side, which is where the Arcturians are from. So of course my galactic family was close by. But then I was looking out in front of me, and Gemini was right in front of me and still right above us. So I could feel that the Gemini constellation was there, but I misread where exactly. And it was really cool to just get that energetic confirmation that I was able to pick up on that constellation. And also just to see all the other amazing galactic energy that was available to us out here in Oro Grande. So I may have to do a little star seed gathering retreat out here with these cute little bubble houses, because I'm like honestly so obsessed. I'm literally sitting in front of one right now, but that's the one that's right next door, so it's easier to see from far. But how's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in from my humble office today. Of course, we're going to tap into the weekly messages. Let me know if you all can hear me okay. Let me know if you can see me okay. I'm going to make sure I can see the live chat so I can hear everybody, or at least connect with everybody watching. Make sure if you are a new subscriber or new viewer to this reading, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and make sure to share it with a soul tribe of your choice, because that's how we spread this web of light energy and continue to wake up the masses and help them to tap into their own intuition so that we can navigate our lives with more grace and ease, which is why I do these readings every single week at 1:11 p.m. Central Time, wherever I'm at, literally. That's how passionate I am about it. That's how important I feel like it is for us to have these messages so that we can prepare for our week. And that's how much I enjoy connecting with all of you here every single week. So I'm super excited to be here from Oro Grande. So I've got some messages, as I always present in every weekly reading. I'm going to cover, I've got my little notebook today. I usually have my big notebook, but I have my little notebook today, my travel size notebook today. So before I get into the weekly reading messages, I will go over a little review of the cards we pulled last week, just to give us an idea of where we're coming off of energetically. As I do this, feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time joining, if it's not your first time joining, please let me know where you're tuning in from and how you're vibing today. Either way, I want to know how you're doing and where you're from. All right, and I'll go ahead and read these review messages and let me know if any of these things came up for you last week to confirm your experience. Okay, the first thing, the beginning of the week last week, was the signs card. How many of you saw a lot of signs and synchronicities in the beginning of your week last week? Just lots of aha moments, things lining up perfectly, right place, right time kind of thing. And how many of you were able to follow those signs and trust them, that they were a message from source? If you did, check off the list. Great job. That was the beginning of the week card last week. Middle of the week card last week was the revealer of truth, letting us know that truth was so important to be exposed last week. A lot of disclosures, a lot of things coming to the surface. The wolf energy revealing truth. Okay, so shout out to all of you who were able to see through some illusions or deceptions in the middle of the week to find more deep truths. Also, for those of you who found a deeper truth within yourself by exploring yourself and understanding yourself more. And then also, we had a lot of messages last week about harsh truths coming through, really exposing us to the reality of certain situations that we needed to see so that we could find success from that awareness. loneliness, okay? So revealer of truth in the middle of the week last week. So any of you all that felt that last week, definitely let me know, because hopefully you were able to see that truth and use it to help you through a situation. Then at the end of the week, we had the Devil's Play card, which is our weekend card for what we're experiencing right now. And this is about debauchery and having fun and just being able to play in the spectrum of experience. This is also the ability to not take things so seriously, even when they can be heavy or dark or shadow-like, making sure that we take account of the opportunity to be grateful, adventurous, curious, and sometimes even excited about the heavy work that we have to do as spiritualists here on this planet, or even the things that we see that are serious but also deserve a little bit of lighter energy as well. Okay, so shout out to all of you on how you moved through those 3 cards last week. Let me know how they resonated. Now we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the full spectrum of the messages for this week. This week we're covering April 10th, which is today, all the way to April 17th, which is next Sunday, where we will tune right back here live for another weekly reading at 1:11 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you mark your calendars, make sure you hit the notification bell in the little menu there, so that you can get all the notifications whenever I go live or post a new video or something like that. Okay, you'll always get a notification when I do that, and that includes getting notifications for any time I post recaps of my performances, which I recently did, my music performances, or even music videos and content like that. So you definitely want to click that bell for notifications if you haven't already. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna hold my little mini book because it has to stay open and it just feels easier. But let's go over the spirit messages of this week. Yeah, y'all ready? I titled this week's energy, what did I title it? Because I really don't even remember. It was, oh, I do remember. It was Finding Peace, planting seeds and finding peace. I was trying to play on words earlier today, and so I had another title in mind, but it didn't really flow. So this one just felt right. Planting seeds and finding peace. And so we want to keep that energy, that theme in our heart today. As you listen to these messages, I want you to think about what kind of seeds you can plant with these messages, and also how these messages may help you find peace this week. Okay, we know that the April card from the annual card reading that I did in January for the entire year of 2022, the April card was war and peace. So we are literally kind of oscillating between the energy of war and peace throughout the month in order for us to see duality and unity from different perspectives, so that we can find a harmony for that in our own lives. So definitely pay attention to war and peace like energies in your experience right now, and these messages will definitely assist you. So definitely get nice and comfy and focused in here. Do not miss any of these messages, okay? So the first message being a certain kind of loneliness, okay? A certain kind of loneliness is hitting Lightworkers right now. That's the first spirit message. I'm noticing a lot of people are experiencing this kind of craving, this deep craving for community, this deep craving for connection. You know, we are in 2022, which is the year of connection. We have the 2 energies so strong, that 2 representing connection, relationships, compassion, truth, and even sometimes duality. And so this message about feeling lonely as a light worker is really important to note today and this week especially, because with the war and peace energy happening right now, we're feeling a bit of war within ourselves on how to find the connections that we feel will bring us most peace. So it's interesting how those 2 aspects of the message play on each other. What parts of our relationships are bringing us a war energy or a contrast or a duality that we don't really need or want, or that is creating stress or triggers for us in our life? And which relationships in our life are creating more peace, and why? What are they doing to create more peace in our life? Okay, when we evaluate that, we recognize that there are some relationships that just have to go. They just aren't suitable for your quality of life at this time. And with that being said, a lot of you did that work already. A lot of you cleared that stuff over the last 3 months or even longer. And I'm proud of you if you did that, because that's some powerful work and not easy work. But there is a little bit of a moment after you clear out all those relationships that aren't serving you, that was causing a war energy or tension in your life. you do have a peace. You have a peace within yourself. You have a peace in your solitude, in your sovereignty, in your solidarity, in your isolation sometimes, as well as you heal from those relationships and get back to you, right? But then there's a moment where you start to feel that loneliness, that desire for connection, that urge to re-establish relationships that feel good. And in that reestablishing of relationships, after all that shadow work you did and clearing all the stuff, getting rid of all the tension and warlike energies, it's so important to have discernment as you let new relationships into your life, really feeling into the wisdom that you gained from the times where you were in relationships or friendships or connections that just were causing issue, causing trigger, causing problems, right? So find your peace through acknowledging the wisdom you gained from those past relationships and using that as discernment for your new relationships. Even though we may be a little bit lonely as light workers right now, because we're all being called so strongly forth in our power, in our light work, in our mastery of our skills and our gifts, and we are also feeling lonely because we cleared out a lot of space in our life because there's things that didn't serve us. Even through that, we have to make sure that we don't get desperate with our loneliness as light workers, that we don't start to reconnect to things, environments, communities, people, perspectives even that represent something less than the vibrational quality that we know we deserve. Okay, so don't settle for anything less than the vibrational quality that you deserve in relationships, even though you might feel a little lonely as a light worker right now. Instead, use that loneliness as a way to get still, get present, get focused on how you can manifest more of the more aligned relationships into your life, simply by being that aligned vibration yourself, okay? Doing the inner work and knowing that the external will show up as a result, okay? So let's pull a card on that. I'm feeling some shadow work cards with this because, you know, we do have a lot of shadow work around facing the parts of us, you know, that crave connection, crave attention, and asking us why. You know, are we craving it because we're feeling like we can't provide it for ourselves? Are we craving it for a reason that is not pure in intention? Are we craving it as an easy way out of some work we actually need to be doing for ourselves, or as a comfort zone of what we're used to, right? Make sure you're not reaching out or reconnecting with people or relationships or allowing relationships in that are not at the vibrational quality that you deserve. Okay, I'm saying it again and again and again because it's so important. And look at wisdom in play comes up. Wisdom in play, literally what I was just talking about, using the wisdom of your past relationships that didn't work as discernment for you in getting into new relationships. Are you sure you want to get into these new relationships or connections, or do they represent too much of the old? Is your wisdom trying to tell you something and trying to get you to see something more clearly? Okay, use that as your power. Our intuition knows more than we do, okay? So this isn't just our wisdom in regards to our past experiences, this is also our wisdom of our intuition. So we may notice that even in certain friendships or potential connections or community connections, we may notice like, oh, this feels kind of okay to tap into, or this feels like a kind of potential friendship, and maybe I'm seeing some red flags from my old relationships showing up in this, but there's an intuition that's even telling me more, telling me definitely this is something to pay attention to. Or the intuition is saying, hey, observe it a little bit longer. It might not be what it seems like on the surface, okay? This could go both ways. So use your intuition and your wisdom of your past relationships to help you find the most aligned, vibrationally aligned relationships to what you deserve. Okay, I'm seeing some chats coming up. What's up, y'all? Hey, Kevin, good to see you. Kevin always showing up. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Nikki. Happy Sunday, Soul Tribe. So good. Yes, I am absorbing nature and it feels so good. Love the vacation vibes for you, Kevin. Good for you. Willpower Awaken is here, sending love. Thank you. Love received and sending it back to you as well. Jasmine is here from NYC. What's up, community? We got 6 viewers, 6 likes. I'm here for it. You know I love my 6 energy. June season, Gemini season coming up soon. Super excited for that. And remember, 2022 is a 6th year, and 6 is all about that pregnant mother energy. The 6 being a pregnant mother. Whatever you put into it, you will receive. Whatever you conceive, you will receive. Whatever you put into something, you will get back, okay? We are in a year of creation, and you know June is about to be potent with that as well. So I cannot wait for those readings, but that's not where we're at right now. Right now, we're on to the next spirit message of this week, which is soul tribe connections with discernment. This goes really hand in hand with what I was just referring to. You know, we have, sorry, I'm moving this all around. So soul connections, soul tribe connections are really activating right now. We are starting to magnetize more of our soul tribe by the second, with our consciousness raising and our magnetism, our electromagnetic frequencies of our Merkaba and our heart energy and our third eye attracting us and bringing us more connections that are aligned to us. And that is beautiful. Okay, that is beautiful. We want that. We want community. We want to share a space and hold space and connect. But we also want to do it in a intuitively and integritous way, and we want to do it in a way that is pure and intentional. Okay, and so with that being said, we have to have discernment with the type of community we are bringing ourselves into and we are allowing into our life. Okay, really take time to observe a community, how it operates, how it functions. Get some insight from people involved in the community before you decide to dive all the way in. Check in with your intuition a couple of times. Feel into the phases of the energy of the community, how the community works throughout the moon phases, throughout the seasons even. Take your time in really observing community. You can be a part of a community without investing all of you into it. Sometimes we invest everything into one community or one group of people or one friendship or even one relationship. You know, we see that in love relationships a lot, where people will kind of get a new partner romantically, and then all the other communities they're involved in, they kind of clear out of this, clear their slate with. But we want to make sure that we are taking the time to not put all of our eggs in one basket, and instead just knowing that we control the basket. Like, we can just be in connection to people and watch how they work, watch how they operate, watch how they flow, watch how they move energetically, watch how they interact with others' energy. Because right now we're in a very sensitive time with community as well, where we may not see the inner workings of a community until we're really taking the time to observe it or to look for certain things. And that can actually backfire on us in our intuition and in our follow through of our wisdom and our tact with energetic safety. Okay, our energetic safety is really important to protect, and if we get too invested into communities or relationships even too quickly before we really know the inner workings of that energy, it can definitely sweep us up and affect our lives in ways that we didn't intend for, or have us affect that community in ways that we didn't intend or signed up for. So this is really important. We want to honor that we are all a little lonely, but we want to make sure we don't just act on that loneliness with a sense of recklessness or a lack of energetic safety and awareness of that. Okay, so use your discernment, your intuition, your wisdom at play, like the card said, and make sure that your soul tribe connections are also resembling something that feels like the vibrational quality of what you deserve. Okay, and this also includes any healing around that. I know a lot of us have had some pain and wounds around community and connections in the past, and that can even start to affect the way that we connect in community moving forward. So we also want to do the discernment work on what we may be bringing into an energy or into a potential connection or community environment. You know, are we bringing in our healed self, or are we bringing our wounded self forward? Are we attracting this energy because we're in our wounded self? Or are we, you know, actually attracting something that is in alignment to where we want to be and who we want to be in our life? And wow, look, the signs comes up again for this. So y'all are reading the signs. Y'all are getting signs about this. So if you've been seeing some signs about distancing yourself from certain communities, or just being a little bit more intentional with how you operate in community spaces, or how you interact with others, and also how you discern in whether or not you're going to interact with certain communities or not, this is a sign for you, and pay attention to the other signs that are showing up, letting you know if it's a yes or a no with that community or not, okay, or that friendship or relationship. It goes with that too, but this is a lot of community energy I'm feeling. So trust the signs, and if that sign is telling you, hey, this isn't the community for you, or this isn't the space, and you might not know exactly why, you could just feel it or sense it, or you get the signs that show it, but you don't really know the facts behind it. Trust it and be patient, because don't settle. You know, don't settle. We don't want to settle. We didn't settle for ourselves, right? We didn't settle on our shadow side of ourselves to be what carried us throughout our life. We didn't settle on our ego. We didn't settle on our, you know, on the parts of us that are insecure and helpless and feel disempowered. We didn't settle for that from ourselves. That's why we are on these readings. That's why we're in this community, because we chose to level ourselves up to a place where we were proud of and where we continue to want to achieve higher levels of our potential. We didn't settle on our basic versions of ourselves. So why would we settle on the basic versions of community, or basic versions of other relationships, or friendships, or romantic relationships? Okay, if you didn't settle on your own, you know, your own less than developed self, why would you settle on anyone else's or any community else's, right? So be patient. If you're a lonely light worker, be patient and keep plugging into these readings, because you're going to find some other lonely light workers that have gravitated to this reading as well, and you can probably find some soul tribe there a lot more easily than elsewhere. Okay, so trust it is coming up, and yes, level the F up. I see you, Joe. What's up, Joe? All right, next spirit message on this wave of this week is stargazing and earthing. How many star seeds out here? Let me get a raise of hands, or 100%, or a little star emoji for all my star seeds out there. Please, I want to see y'all. I want to know you're watching. I want to feel the energy, the community, the connection. And I also want to check you all on the replay, those star seeds that are watching the replay. Shout out to all of you who are star seeds and know that you are, and are activating that cosmic consciousness. And if you are feeling like you might be a star seed, but you just don't know if you should claim it or not, or you're just not sure, a star seed is somebody who is able and willing to admit that they're curious, and they're ready, and they're interested in learning more about cosmic energy and how they are connected to it. And there are also levels to this. So if you're just curious and starting to wonder about being a starseed, or if you're all the way in and you know exactly what constellation and galaxy and galactic race you're connected to, then shout out to you as well. Whatever level you are on the starseed journey, shout out to you, okay? Because we are all starting to wake up our cosmic consciousness, and a part of us being able to wake up our cosmic consciousness more, and a way that we can do that with even more acuteness and accuracy, is stargazing. Simply stargazing regularly can truly activate such a powerful cosmic consciousness, and it's super, super fun to do. Like I said, I did it outside last night out here in like the beautiful open sky. It was like so gorgeous, y'all. And we have these like bubble houses. I showed you these little bubble houses we're in, and you can see outside pretty well. So it was really cool. But the stargazing energy is really powerful, because what's happening is it starts to activate some light codes. Hold on, y'all. I'm losing cards. It starts to activate some light codes in your being. It starts to really connect you to your own conscious awareness of your starseed power, because literally you're using the stars to activate your star self. And your star self is connected to your heart space, it's connected to your third eye, it's connected to the way you receive light from the stars, the way you receive light from the stars through your eyes. All of that is connected. The energy frequencies from the stars in low light pollution areas, you can access so much energy there. So this is a powerful thing to do when you can stargaze regularly. So I encourage this, because a lot of you are waking up to your cosmic self, and a lot of you are wanting to have more of those experiences to prove that, but you may not be doing the work all the way to access that. And part of the work is doing the stargazing practices on your own, or with friends, or both. I suggest both, because you'll have very different experiences stargazing on your own versus stargazing with your friends, and that can actually be really powerful. I'm going to be hosting some stargazing events again soon in Arizona. So shout out to anybody in Arizona who knows of some really great stargazing locations. I would love your help and assistance, or even some venues that have rooftop access with low light areas. I would love, love, love your help in finding some locations for my starseed gatherings so we can actually do some meditations together as a community under the stars and see the galactics come out to play, because they absolutely do. I used to host these events all the time and they were so powerful. So I'll be doing more of that. But for your own practice, do some stargazing. And when you're doing the stargazing practice, you want to earth, you want to ground as well. You want to have your feet in the dirt. You want to be outside, preferably. You want to feel the energy of Mother Earth grounding you as you allow your consciousness to stretch up to wondering about what's going on in the stars and letting the stars tell you what's going on up there. So there's so many ways to do that, and I'll get into more of that eventually. But this week we are really being called to do some more stargazing and to ground as we do. And we may even be called to do some work with the moon and some grounding as well. You know, we have a full moon in Libra this week as well, so we'll talk about that in a second with the astrology messages. But we are literally channels of both the earth frequency and the magic of the earth, and the cosmic frequency and the magic of the cosmos. We are a bridge between earth and cosmic space. And as the bridge, we get to open our channel and we get to allow for ourselves to gain wisdom from the earth in our physical bodies and our connection to it. And then we gain intuition and wisdom from the cosmos through our third eye and our channel of energy and vortexes of energy that hold that consciousness. So we get to use that this week, and it's going to really help us to move through a lot of the astrological influences that are happening this week. And it's also going to help us just have more wisdom and awareness and an intellect and problem solving strategy. You'll have this kind of level of intuition that you just know certain things. You don't have to question yourself anymore. You'll have higher awareness of certain aspects of your mastery that you didn't have before, because you're going to have a telepathic connection with your galactic guides that are going to be giving you information about certain things that you need information for. So it's just powerful work. So I highly recommend stargazing and another really great practice, and this is why I'm doing this work, and this is why the guides have told me to do it, the Starseed Saturday meditations, the cosmic activations that I do every single Saturday, except for the integration weeks, which yesterday was an integration day. So this is actually a great time, if you've never done any of the Starseed Saturday meditations, to do them this week. Do as many as you want from the ones that have already been posted, because this is an integration week. This is a week where there's no new one coming through, so you can use this as a way to catch up on the old so that you can be ready for some new cosmic activations. You don't have to do all of them. Just do the ones that feel good. Just do the ones that feel, you know, really powerful to you. Okay. So with that energy of stargazing, I'm going to pull, let's see, who wants to play for the stargazing? Let's do the dragon cards, because the Aries season with the astrological aspects of things. Let's just see what the dragons have for us in regards to stargazing and earthing and connecting in that way. And if anybody has any questions about starseed energy or cosmic connections, please comment in the comments. I would love to use your questions as inspiration for new content, so I can really know what it is that you want to know about starseed energy, so I could bring you the content that answers that for you. Yeah, I'm super excited to see what you all come up with. Because we are really activating a lot of cosmic energy, and it's so fun. Like I said yesterday when I was looking at the stars, I could feel the constellation of Gemini, because I'm so cosmically connected. I've worked on my soul, my cosmic connection, my cosmic self so much. I could sense the energy of Gemini, but I was looking at the constellations and I was like, oh, I think that's Gemini, but it wasn't. It was actually right next to where I thought it was, but I could feel it. I knew that Gemini was around. And so that's the kind of power that you can access when you really work on your cosmic self. All right, y'all. And another part of this stargazing and earthing practice is dragon wealth. The dragons are letting us know there's some abundance for us here when we stargaze, when we look at the stars and gain those cosmic codes, and when we connect to the earth and ground into Earth's magic with that connection to the cosmos. The dragons are like, yeah, girl, you're gonna feel connected. You're gonna feel like, you know, smarter and better at what you do, but like, you're also gonna get some money from it. You're also gonna gain some wealth from it, because when you're better at what you do and when you're more aligned, you gain abundance. It says, let go of fears that you are not worthy, or that you are incapable of coping with success. So anybody out there that is insecure or having some self-worth issues, or feeling like they're not able to succeed, or having some imposter syndrome, or even just fears of success, this message is especially for you. Stargazing and earthing is going to be really helpful in bringing you some wealth. So it says, let go of fears that you are not worthy, or that you are incapable of coping with success. You need not fear the bright light that shines within you. The world needs your energy, and it needs it now. And that's why they're wanting to activate our cosmic self even more, because our cosmic self really holds a lot of our soul purpose. Whether you are a star seed for a galaxy outside of Earth, or whether you are an Earth star seed, you are absolutely connected, and you have a soul purpose that is connected to your cosmic self. Your cosmic self is connection to Earth, or your cosmic self connection to another galaxy or star constellation. So we're all star seeds, no matter where or what galaxy or galactic connection we have, because the Earth is a planet, and if you feel more resonant with being from Earth, you're still a star seed. You're a star seed of Earth, okay? And our star seed energy, our cosmic energy, holds our purpose on this planet. It's what we do to seed the planet with our light, right? So that is our purpose, okay? So when we connect to our cosmic self, we actually do connect to our purpose as well, all right? So those of you looking for purpose, or fearing your purpose, or fearing the success of your purpose, stargazing and earthing is going to help you feel more certain of it, okay? And there's going to be wealth there for you. Don't forget that part. All right, next message, adventures are activating us. Adventures are activating us. We are being called to have some adventures in our life, and to not resist or repel ourselves from adventure. We are meant to lean in and seek and get excited and curious for the new adventures we can have in our life. Being in California this weekend was a little bit of a random trip that I did not expect or plan, but it was super fun. It was for my dear sister, Q. Shout out to Q for her birthday. She's not only a goddess sister of mine, but also a fellow client, or previous client, former client, and she's just so powerful, such a medicine woman, such a divine being, such a star seed. So shout out to Q. We're out here for her birthday in California. But this was an adventure. This was something that I didn't plan, I didn't expect, I got invited to, and I'm like, yes, adventure, of course. My double Gemini self, always down for an adventure, but not everybody's like that. And so as a Gemini, and as the intuitive that gets to bring you these collective conscious messages for our week this week, I want to encourage you to have more adventure, and to know how fun it is to just sign up for things that you might not even know exactly what is going to happen, or what the plan is, or how it's going to feel, but you can sense that there's an adventure there, that there's something exhilarating, there's something new, there's something interesting for you there. And so if you're feeling that, if you're feeling called to adventure, if you're feeling intuitively aligned to some new adventure in your life, go out and find it. Go out and find what that adventure is. Go out and seek it. Don't hold yourself back from potential adventure that is showing up for you. A lot of us get the opportunity to adventure all the time, but we don't take the opportunity. We just get caught up in this idea that we don't need to, that it's just like, we'll do it later, or we'll plan that later, we'll create an opportunity for us to do that another time. But we might not have later, okay? And we might not experience what we're meant to experience at this time later, right? The stars will be different. The planets will be in a different cycle. Ourselves will be different. Our life will be different, right? So we need to seize the adventure when we feel called to the adventure, okay? Don't stutter step or procrastinate or hold yourself separate from an adventure that you feel called to having. Sometimes the adventures we are called to have might not end up turning out fun either. A lot of adventures aren't that fun, but a lot of them are. And even the ones that aren't that fun, don't you grow? Don't you learn something? Don't you experience something new? Don't you enjoy that? Don't you reflect back on that and have that memory to savor from that point forward? Isn't that beautiful? So adventures are activating us. They may not always be fun, but they are always activating, okay? And most of the time they're also fun if we take on the perception of being excited for the adventure and recognizing the value in it, okay? So this week we're being called into more adventures, adventure time all day. So ask yourself, how can I be more adventurous? Even if that means just taking a different route home from work, or being a little bit more of a intuitive, you know, nature walker, or letting yourself do some intuitive movement, just being adventurous with your morning practice or your yoga practice, or the way that you interact with your own self-care. You know, be adventurous, be curious, be open to something new, and watch how that activates you. Okay, pulling the intuitive luminary cards. Check out, oh, this is like a sexy photo shoot. Like, I need a photo shoot with the cards in nature. That was my photo shoot. I'm gonna screenshot that later. All right, y'all, dream time. Dream time. Okay, adventures are activating, even dream adventures. But also, what are the adventures that have been on the top of your list, like your wildest dreams? What are some of the adventures that are on that like bucket list that you have? Why haven't you done any of them? I mean, like, what are you waiting for, right? Like, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 20. I don't care if you're 19 or 15. I don't care if you're 40. I don't care if you're 60. I don't care if you're 30. What are you waiting for? Why aren't you taking the time to make times for the dream adventures that you always said you wanted to have in your life? Why aren't you making time for that? Make some time for the adventures of your dreams, because you may really regret not taking that time later. You know, life happens all the time. We never know what could happen that could adjust the dream in a way that we maybe didn't expect or want. We could have seized the dream when we had the time to seize the dream. Okay, and this is also including like your dream realm. The dream realm itself is also very activating in the adventures you can have in astral travel as well. So if you're being called to that, also use this card as a message for that. I'm going to read this message as a bit of that astral travel perspective, but also know that the previous message I talked about with this, you know, taking time to make your dream adventures happen, is even more in alignment to this particular reading. It says, you're emerging with higher consciousness as you sleep. Many realms are accessible to you now as you explore your capacity to astral travel, lucid dream, and download messages from your oversoul for new wisdom. Don't be afraid to use this gift for all that it can unveil to you. You can use the affirmation, I enjoy exploring the many realms of consciousness that my dreamy trance adventures bring me. Okay, so take the time to do some more of those dream adventures, and outside of your sleep state and inside of your sleep state. Okay, that's going to bring you a lot of power and connection and fun, just like simple fun. Okay, like, we love adventure just for the fun of it. And it's important to even ask yourself, are you denying yourself a lot of fun lately? And why are you denying yourself the fun of adventure? Why do you think you deserve that kind of denial of fun and adventure and bliss and excitement? And when do you think you will deserve it? Like, what do you have to do to deserve that? I mean, you shouldn't have to do anything. You should just naturally deserve to have adventure. So go get it. Go make the time and get it, okay? All right, second to last message before we finish out with our main message of this week is programming and toxic beliefs are surfacing for cleansing right now. A lot of us are experiencing some toxic beliefs showing up or surfacing, things that we didn't even think were a toxic belief. Now we're realizing it was, or some programming that we didn't even realize we were being programmed as. And then we realize, oh my gosh, this programming is like affecting us. It's causing us a whole bunch of issue. You know, we've framed our life over this thing that's not even true, that we've kind of been programmed to believe, conditioned to believe. And so we're recognizing how those kind of conditioned beliefs, programmed beliefs, and perspectives have infiltrated our lifestyle, and how we need to see that in order to cleanse that kind of influence from our lifestyle. So when you are starting to notice that maybe a belief you've signed on for a long time, or a way that you've been living your life for a long time has been not as in alignment to what's best for you, or what's best for the collective consciousness, or what's most true to the reality of our universe, that can be really hard. It can be a kind of an ego, ego burst, and it can really bruise our ego. It can make us feel like we are uncertain of ourselves. It can cause us to second guess ourselves or even others. And that can be a really difficult time to be in. That's when our intuition is most useful. That's when and why I really, really encourage everybody to develop their intuition in their purest and positive potential, because if you don't, you end up missing out on the survival skill that it is to help you with those situations. And so it keeps you from being programmed. It keeps you from being wrapped up in conditioned belief. And it also keeps you capable of seeing that that's happening. A lot of people that are asleep or not awake yet don't even realize that they're asleep, right? Because they're conditioned, they're programmed into thinking that this reality that they're convinced of is the only reality, that there's nothing else, right? And that used to be us, if you remember, right? It's sometimes hard to go back to thinking about that, but that used to be us as well. And so it's super important to recognize that there's levels of that as well. And our intuition has helped us as we've developed it and as we've learned and trained ourselves and connected to more energy and learned how to read energy. We've gotten better at that, but we're also still human. We're also still facing programming and conditioned belief all day, every day, through media, conversation, random public influence. We're still feeling that. So we've got to constantly notice when our toxic beliefs or our program beliefs or conditioned beliefs are showing up, and to what degree and why and where they started and how to clear them, okay? And you clear them by not signing up for them anymore, not believing in them anymore, not giving your energy to them anymore, not even having conversations about them anymore sometimes. That's a practice I do a lot of times when I realize, like, oh, I was in this conditioned belief, or I was starting to get like a little bit swayed in some programming that didn't feel comfortable to me. I just completely unplug from the programming, stop watching that show, or stop watching that channel, or stop interacting with that person or community for a minute. Get away from it, unplug, so that you can get back to your energy, your connection to source, replug into source, reconnect to your intuition, your meditation, your conscious channel, and ask the questions to your spirit guides and to your own inner being. And that's how you get back to yourself, okay? It's not hard to clear programming and conditioning once we choose to, and once we decide to be diligent and thorough about it. It's when we do it in a half-ass way, or in a way that is not fully reconnective to our own vibration, that kind of can knock us off our path. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if y'all are feeling it. Let me get some emojis, whatever emojis you feel called to share. Let me see your favorite emoji right now as a confirmation. I want to see your favorite emoji right now. If it's a weird one, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We like weird, even if it's like a little vixen weird. Like, I'm fine with it. If it's your favorite emoji, like, who am I to tell you not to express yourself? But I'm really curious. Let me see your favorite emoji, y'all, if you're feeling these messages and if these messages are aligning to you. I want to see it in the live chat. And for those of you watching on the replay, let me see it. Let me see your favorite emoji. Okay, Joe with the tea/coffee vibe. I think that's a coffee vibe, a coffee emoji. I'm gonna go with coffee. Might be tea for those tea drinkers out there. What else y'all got? Where are my emojis at? Where y'all at? Y'all sleeping on me? Let me see them. I'm gonna be waiting on these emojis. Don't think that I'm gonna forget. Okay, I want to see at least 2 to 3 more favorite emojis from my team, from my squad, from my tribe. Okay, we out here having fun. Okay, it doesn't have to be so serious. All right, it does not have to be so serious. Toxic beliefs, programming, conditioning, yeah, it's serious, it sucks, it definitely influences our life, but we don't have to get so serious about it. We can have fun with it. We can enjoy ourselves. We can still laugh amidst all of that stuff. Okay. Oh, the cacao. Joe says it's the cacao. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Spiritual kingdom. Okay, with the hearts, the prayer hands, and the stars. Hearts, and the heart, the purple heart, and the stars are my 2 favorite emojis right now as well. So I love that. Okay, Jasmine with the meditation and the bath/shower vibe. Okay, yes, cleansing meditation vibes with the emojis. I'm here for it. I love y'all. You're so good. Thank you for participating. This makes my day, honestly. I love having this interaction with y'all. All right, so the message for this is being resilient. we are resilient to programming. Once we recognize that we are being programmed and that we could be programmed by things, we do half the battle. Half the battle is won, because now we're aware. That light of resistance makes us more resilient to programming in general. That's why it's hard to program people who are awake. That's why the powers that be who are doing the programming don't want us to wake up, because as soon as we have that awareness, it doesn't work anymore. Those subliminal messages in media, they don't work as hard as they did before. They don't work on us like they did before. And yes, they still work on people that are unassuming, but we're resilient to it. So by showing them that there's an example that they don't have to sign into that reality, and that there is a different kind of energy out there for them to connect to, that right there in itself accesses some really powerful lead by example energy for those who are ready to wake up more. Okay, but it's not always our job to wake up people from the programming they're in. Sometimes that can make very, very tragic and very, very traumatic for people if they're not ready to wake up in that way. Okay, so we don't want to force people out of their programming and toxic behavior, but we do want to show them that they can be resilient to it. We do want to show them that they can resist it. We do want to show them that what it looks like when somebody signs up to more of their truth versus the truth that they, are told to believe. And that really does a lot of work, a lot of light work itself. Okay, so you are resilient to the programming. So even when you get reprogrammed, or you start to fall into new conditioning that you didn't like, or that you fall into another toxic behavior, it's okay. You've done this before. You know how to identify it. You know how to face it. You know how to clear it. You know how to rewrite the story to a truth that's actually more in alignment. So just keep doing that and be the example for others to do the same. It says there is no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. You have the determination and patience to handle any toxic programming, any toxic belief system, any kind of conditioning that you see. You have the patience and the determination to handle that and to clear that. And you just got to do it. That's the shadow work, okay? And yes, we got to keep doing it over and over again, because the world is continually programming us to stuff that is not true to our nature. So we got to just get used to that process and be okay with the fact that that's just what we have to do, right? Like, we got used to the process of being in a body. Like, we have to go eat food and go to the bathroom and do human stuff that our spirit was definitely not used to. But we had to get used to that process and just deal with it. It's not always fun and pretty stuff, but it's stuff we got to do. So the same thing goes for here. You're going to have to continue to transmute programming as we live in this world, as the world continues to program people. And we are the light workers to be resilient against that, okay? All right, y'all, last message before we hit the astrology for our final little stretch. Sorry, hopefully my connection is still good. My dad tried to call me. Always calls at the worst time. Shout out to those parents that just happen to call at the worst time. I love you so much, Dad. I just really love you so much. But dang, always calling me at the wrong time. Y'all get that too? Do your parents call you at the worst time every time? Man, it's funny. Or maybe y'all just have that one friend that just calls you at the worst time every time. It's you want to talk to them, but dang, I cannot talk to you right now. Shout out to all my peeps out there who feel that. Yo, tap into your intuition before you call me, bruh. I'm just kidding. All right, so last message, main message here, planting seeds and finding peace. First of all, I want to talk about finding peace. This week, we're going to be finding some puzzle pieces to our peace. It's so hard to say. That's why I was trying to make it a cool play on words for our weekly reading title, but it just didn't work out. But we are literally finding the puzzle pieces. We are finding the puzzle pieces to our peace this week. We had that war and peace energy with April. We're going to continue to see it. But this week, we are finding some awareness of what we are needing, the missing piece to our peace. That's what I should have titled it, the missing pieces to peace, something like that. But you get the point, okay? So whatever you feel like is causing disruption in your life, causing that warlike energy, the tug of war, the contrast, or the duality, or just the tension and trigger, you're going to find some puzzle pieces, some missing pieces that you didn't know even existed that will really help you gain your peace. You're going to feel this kind of missing link to what you needed, whether it's an aha moment, oh, I just needed to think about it this way in order to have peace with this. Or, oh, I just need this one thing to be done, and then I'll be at peace with this decision. Or, oh, I just need to have this conversation with somebody, and then I'll find the peace I need about it. So let yourself find the pieces of peace that are showing up for you this week, because there will be a lot of signs in that showing up for you to take advantage of that peace. And you're also going to feel your wisdom at play, leading you in the direction of finding those missing pieces to your peace. So let your intuition guide you to that. That's going to also bring you tons of wealth as well. Okay. Really, really beautiful. So with that being said, when we find those missing pieces to our piece, we also are going to be planting some seeds accordingly, according to those downloads, according to those activations and awarenesses, to help us with our success. And those planting seeds are going to help us with really maintaining new wealth and new activation, new power, new alignment to our prosperity. It's going to be really beautiful. And this is the springtime. Okay. We are in spring. Okay. So we get to plant seeds to all the things that we desire. If you're wanting to start a community, if you're wanting to start a project, if you're wanting to put out that album that you've always talked about putting out, if you're wanting to step into your power as a healer and intuitive, or you're wanting to start channeling messages for the collective, or you're wanting to open up your own business and start helping other people, do it. Plant the seeds though. Plant the seeds. What is it that you need in order for you to feel solid in that plan, in the execution of that plan? Do you need more training? Do you need mentorship? Do you need education? Do you need practice? Do you need to go gather the resources? Do you need to go have the conversations? Do you need to network? Do you need to find the building or the products, or what? What is it? Do you need to write your mission statement? Start planting the seeds, okay? And if you need help with this, I got you. That's what I do. It's literally my purpose to help you activate your gifts and level up in your ascension journey and become the luminary leader and intuitive luminary that you know you are. That's my purpose. That's what I love to do. So if you need help, if you want to feel more empowered in your gifts, if you want to use your intuition for your highest survival skill in your life and your way of manifesting more abundance and greatness into your life, whatever it is that you want to do, then reach out to me. Open enrollment for the Intuitive Luminary program and the Luminary Leadership program. Yes, there are two separate coaching programs available. Both are open enrollment all year. And I will say, I recently just got a very strong download and activation from my guides and from my mentors, my own mentors, because yes, your girl has mentors too. I would never tell you to get a mentor and me not have the same type of investment or do the same type of work, right? But I'm getting some activations and some pretty strong messages that I'm going to need to up the price of these enrollment packages for coaching very soon, probably by June. I'm going to be by June or July. At the latest, I'm going to be shifting the pricing. I've added a lot of value, even since most of you who have had some consultation calls about the program. So those of you who already know a lot of the details of the program from calls before that you've inquired about the program with, I just added a ton more value and wealth to the experience. So when you sign up for this coaching, you're also getting a lot more value that could also activate some serious abundance where you can turn what you learn into income. Okay, so turning the insight into income. So if you're interested in that, definitely get on it before June or July, because the exchange price will be likely going up in June or July. My guides are telling me for my solar return and for the work I've been putting into the collective, it's time to up the prices. I didn't up my prices last year. I did not up my prices last year, so I'm due on some upping of pricing, and I'm usually the last one to do that because my guides are usually like screaming at me telling me to do it, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to charge anymore. But no, it's because the value is more too. So make sure to take advantage of that. Okay, planting seeds and finding the missing puzzle pieces for peace. Okay, last card to pull in regards to planting seeds. I'm thinking a heart card. We haven't done any heart cards yet. So beautiful Mary Magdalene cards for creation, for activation. for planting seeds, for manifestation. Okay, what do you want to manifest, and are you actually planting the seeds for it, or are you just expecting it to land in your lap? Are you doing the work? Are you making the investments? Are you putting in the time, the energy, the financial support that is needed to make that happen? Because if you're not, what is this year? It's the year of creation, the 6th year. What you put into it is what you're going to get back. So if you don't put a lot of energy, time, money, investment into it, you're not going to get a lot back. Okay, so what do you want? All right, what do you want to get back out of this? If you want $20,000 in income boost and peace of mind and a clarity of consciousness that you never knew you were was even fathomable, and you want a sense of peace and enlightenment that is unwavering, and a sense of confidence that is just emanating from your being and your purpose and your passion, if you want that much activation, you got to put that much into it. You got to put that much work. Shout out to my luminaries in this chat. Shout out to all of y'all who continually show up. Flies are a sign of abundance, by the way. Shout out to all of you who show up, because I know all of you have put in the work who have been in my program. Shout out to Mama Joe Redbird, okay? Shout out to Danielle, who's in the program right now, okay? Shout out to Nikki, who's graduated from both programs, okay? Like, come on. These people show up, y'all. So if you want it, you gotta show up. You gotta show up and put in what you want out of it. And they got what they want out of it. Nikki is hosting events all throughout the community right now in several different spaces, doing her meditation work. Joe Redbird, all over Delaware, doing her amazing art, Reiki infused art, healing the masses, the communities, okay? Danielle is out here doing the shadow work on herself, activating her own channel, doing the rituals and practices, aligning to more manifestation within her being, and seeing the traction of that just in the short amount of time she's been in the program. Are you kidding me? It's unmatched, y'all. And that's just some of them, okay? That's just the people on this chat, all right? I've graduated 18 people from the program. So this is just something I get on a whole tangent about. So let me stop. Let me get back to the center. Okay. Let me get back to planting seeds and finding your pieces of peace. Okay. Your missing pieces of peace. Mythic reality. This is a powerful card for this. This is saying there's some ideas here where we've created a reality in our head that we want for our future, we want for our life, we want as our goal. It's sometimes such a imagined reality that it feels a little bit like a myth. It feels like it might not be real. It feels like it might just be imagined, like it's not possible, that our wildest dreams and the things that we want in our life. But we can make it possible. We make it possible by connecting to our intuition, the spectrum of our consciousness, our chakras, the rainbow of our energy, our light being energy, and we end up walking the path to the Mecca, the abundance, the castle of our consciousness, all right? And by doing so, we end up being able to create that reality that we once thought was a myth. We end up being able to create it because we went to the Mecca, our own high vibrational aspect of self, our own connection to source, our own connection to that divine alignment of all the energy vortexes in our body that help us to create our reality, the reality that we want, that we desire, that we imagined and thought was a myth, but it's not, it's a reality. We get to make it a reality, okay, by planting the seeds and honoring the peace that we need in order to cultivate the success in that, okay? So beautiful. Ending with a bang on that spirit message, planting seeds and finding peace, okay? Last thing I wanted to do, like we always do, cover some astrology real quick. We've got a pretty powerful astrology week. First of all, today we have Mercury entering Taurus. We talked about this a little bit last week. Feeling a little bit more grounded, feeling like we're able to think before we speak more naturally, feeling like we're able to communicate strategy and a centered awareness without feeling erratic or misunderstood or, having a hard time communicating. So lots of release of resistance in our communication by grounding into that Taurus energy today with Mercury. Then on the 12th, which is not tomorrow, but Tuesday, Jupiter Jupiter in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Sorry, I couldn't read it for a second. Jupiter in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So that's going to be using our intuition to activate more of our abundance and our pleasure by going with what feels good. And being okay with a little bit of the dreamy aspect of that. We may find ourselves daydreaming a lot. We may find ourselves kind of wandering into new adventures just intuitively that end up really bringing us some fun and wealth and abundance and connection. So just honor that. Honor how your intuition is kind of guiding you into new experiences or imaginative alignment that will help you with your experiences in your week. Okay. Then also on the 12th, Sun in Aries, sextile Saturn in Aquarius. This is going to give us a lot of opportunity to work on the shadow work and be innovative and creative with it. A lot of the shadow work we're going through right now is not as deep and dark and heavy as before or in the winter months. We have a little bit of a lighthearted spirit about it. We're able to create with the things that we're seeing that are a little bit heavier. We can create an event around it, or we can hold space around it, or we can create a song or a poem, or we can you know, go out and create conversation that will help us feel more at peace with it. So whatever shadow work you're doing, that 4/12 Sun in Aries, sextile Saturn in Aquarius, it's going to make it a little bit easier to do and a little bit more productive with that Aries energy. Then on the 14th is a powerful numerological day. We've got 414 that day, April 14th. That is aligning ourselves to a centered practice in dealing with challenges on either side of ourselves. So this can be decisions we have to make, being stuck between a rock and a hard place, feeling like we're kind of stuck between something that's like not comfortable, but also something that we don't really want. These challenges that are kind of surrounding us, we're meant to be an eye of the storm in that and just honor our intuition and be still and patient for the solution to come. Mars enters Pisces that day, so we need to literally act on our intuition in order for us to get ourselves out of sticky situations, okay? Act on your intuition, not on your ego, not on your fear, not on your triggers, okay? Master your mood, and then use your intuition to get yourself out of a sticky situation, okay? But you really wanna make sure you do that. Make sure that the mastering your mood part is really essential. Shout out to all of my luminary graduates. You know exactly what I'm talking about because there's a module in my program called Master Your Mood that is super activating for everybody that does it. And it's super important. So that's gonna help you through that 414 energy with Mars entering Pisces. And then finally, the last astrological influence we want to talk about is the full moon in Libra on the 16th. That is going to be a powerful, powerful full moon. What is that? Is that Friday or no, it's Saturday. Saturday the 16th, full moon in Libra. Okay, so this is going to be the balancing act for us between the war and peace, between the masculine and feminine, between the ego and the higher self. Okay, we're feeling all of that duality within us that we've been at war with, or that we've been trying to find a resolution around. We're going to notice that the full moon in Libra on Saturday is going to balance it out. It's going to probably also show us some extremes of it first in order to balance it out. So know that that's part of the Libra energy. The Libra energy will play in the extremes for a little bit and then find a little bit of a happy medium, or sometimes they'll play in the extremes to produce the need for the medium, okay, or for the balance. So let yourself receive the balancing and neutral problem-solving element of the Libra full moon that will also release any excess extremes in any conflicts in your life. So extreme drama, extreme trigger, extreme just any of the extremes, you know, are going to be kind of subdued a little bit after the full moon in Libra as well, okay? So hopefully we'll make everything a lot easier to move through and navigate and understand, and that'll really be really beautiful. I will be doing a full moon talk on Saturday in the evening via my Instagram at Readings by Rissa, so definitely check that out. I'll be posting about what time I'll be going live and everything closer to that day, if not the day of, so pay attention to my story at Readings by Rissa for more moon vibes. And then finally on the 17th, When we meet again for a brand new weekly reading, we have Mercury in Taurus, sextile Venus in Pisces, and then we have Mercury in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Okay, so lots of Taurus energy as we start to get ready for that season coming up in the next little bit. Lots of energy with grounding into our communication, lots of energy with allowing our pleasure and our intuition to be a big part of how we ground into our communication, really honoring what we need to say to bring us peace and pleasure and happiness in our life. And then also, you know, being a little bit unique, being a little bit innovative, being a little bit of a rebel, you know, allowing yourself to go a little bit against the grain. This comes into that wisdom at play and honoring your truth and being able to be discerning of what's actually most in alignment to you. Okay, so that's going to be helpful as well on the 17th. And we'll talk more about it on the Moon Talk for Saturday as well. Okay, let's pull 3 more cards to end out and we'll be on our way. How is everybody feeling? Any questions? Any shares? Anything you want to say? I am so proud of you all for continuing to show up and do the work in the Starseed meditations, in the live readings here, in the Bone Shaman readings when you show up to those. Just continually working on yourselves. You know, the meditations you do at home, the yoga practices you do at home, the way that you take those extra breaths before getting angry at something or triggered at something. The way that you check in with your spirit before you say yes to something because you want to make sure that you're honoring your self-care and self-love. The way you show up for others, you know, I see all y'all and I'm proud of you, so keep doing it. Keep powering through and know that you have this Web of Light community right here for you. Always, 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 you know, to support you and speak some life into you and let you know that you're not alone, okay? And for those of you who are in the Arizona area, I have some events coming up. You already know. If you don't, then you're about to know. I've got a Channel and Chill event on the 27th at Abundance Space in Scottsdale. That's where I will be channeling messages directly from the guides who come through for anybody who has questions, and also providing some collective messages. We're bringing that back. Shout out to Nikki, who's going to be helping me with the holding space of that. It's going to be so fun on the 27th at Abundance Space in Scottsdale. The exchange is $44 for that, and it is going to be so fun. And then I also have an amazing musical performance that I will be performing at this not next Saturday, the 23rd. So not this next Saturday, but the Saturday after. On the 23rd, I will be performing live at the Chief and Chill Elevated Experience. It's going to be amazing, and it's all for a good cause. We are putting all the proceeds towards helping people who are terminally ill or incredibly in need of RSO treatments, to help them get their medical cards, and so that they can get the treatment and healing that they need and the comfort that they need as well. So if you love a 420 cannabis friendly event and you love anything that goes towards a good cause and you love my music, then this is going to be a perfect freaking combination of it all. But also there's going to be so many other vendors, so many other artists, so many energy healers as well at this event. You're going to get some goodie bags as well with your ticket. So definitely reach out to me if you want a ticket. I have a few tickets on discount for all of you who are interested. So message me on Instagram at Readings by Rissa, or email me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com if you know for sure you want one of those discounted tickets. I got you. And come out and support, come out and vibe, come out and light one with me, okay? We're gonna have so much fun, and that's on the 23rd in Tempe, Arizona, and that is with the Chief and Chill Elevated Experience. I will be headlining the show, so I'll probably be going on sometime around 8 or so, or sometime after 8, okay? I love you. Thank you for joining that. If you end up showing up, make sure you say hi, because I'd love to see you. All right, first card of the week to end everything out, y'all, as our spirit messages for the end of this week, or for the summary of this week. Shower of light. Okay, shower of light card in the beginning of the week. Look at that, 222 energy. We are in 2022 with that 22 energy strong, 222 energy strong. Our first 2 messages of this reading were also about connection and community and discernment in your connection and communities. So shower of light is a really good practice. Showering yourself in light, imagining a shower of light raining over you anytime you feel like you've connected with somebody that you need to cleanse yourself from, or a community that you need to cleanse yourself from, or just keeping your light protected if you're about to step step into a community space that you just aren't sure for sure if they're in alignment yet, or if you need to just make sure that your energy is really pure and clear in that space, use the shower of light practice, which is, I will read it to you: bathe yourself in light. Visualize and allow the infinite illumination of Source to rain divine love, abundance, and cleansing onto you now. Source light can clear pain, tension, anxiety, toxic energy, or anything else that has been holding you separate from your highest vibration. You can use the affirmation, I am rinsed in the golden white light of the divine. It is protecting me, holding me, and guiding me on my path. So for those of you also who are feeling that light worker loneliness right now, remember, do not just attach yourself to communities or connections that are not at the vibrational quality of what you deserve. Know that you get to connect to the divine and have Source protect you and hold you and guide you on your path until you find the right community or connections that are most in alignment to you, okay? Middle of the week card, Perspective, the number 39 card. This is letting us know, and this is a number 12 card, so I love that card for path and purpose and faith. But this is letting us know a calm and clear mind is free to see differently. So a lot of us are being called to calm our mind, to not take things too seriously, to let ourselves have more adventure, have more fun, like we talked about. Take the time to be more adventurous and really go do the things that you've always dreamed of. You know, here she's looking out into something that she's really in awe of and really excited to see, but she's not actually experiencing the adventure of it. So don't just watch from afar. Go out there and have the adventure. Go give yourself a different perspective. Maybe you've seen it from afar for a while, and now it's time to go enjoy it. Go get your hands dirty. Go jump into those experiences that you find adventurous and exciting. And maybe you end up jumping in and it's not so fun as you thought, but that's an experience and that's an activation as well. So let those adventures become activations by shifting your perspective, and also calming and clearing the mind, taking things less seriously so that you can enjoy the option of seeing things differently. And then end of the week card, The Secret. This is our last card to focus on today. The Secret, recognizing the alignment of your being, the law of attraction, your ability to manifest, really coming back to that number 6 for the year. What you conceive is what you receive. What you put into something is what you're going to get out. So that's the secret. Okay, so if something's not going in the way that you want it to be, ask yourself, are you putting in enough? Are you putting in the energy that you want to receive from it? Or are you doing that in a half-ass way or in a mediocre way, and that's why you're getting mediocre results? Or are you doing it not at all, and that's why you're not getting any results, right? We have to take accountability for that. Super important. All right, loves, I think that's it for today. I'm going to pull one card for the moon because I know y'all love the moon cards, and I always forget to do it. So I'm going to pull another luminary card, my luminary deck. Shout out to my luminary deck. It is officially sold out. It is only available to coaching clients who sign up for the program now, until I get a new batch going, which I will be doing in the next several months or so. But you know, we got some stuff going on with like printing and trade and stuff like that, so it's hard to get products out right now, but it will align soon. So shout out to all of you who got an exclusive Intuitive Luminary card deck, and for those of you who still can get one if you sign up for the Intuitive Luminary program. And with that being said, Spirit Junkie is our message for the moon, our full moon in Libra. This is such a powerful energy, and this is also the energy of, you know, just your enlightenment path. And when you can really activate that in such power, you end up feeling this Spirit Junkie energy. And we talked about, you know, the full moon in Libra balancing things out, kind of giving us a new clarity, helping us to find some solutions to problems. And so we're going to feel some Spirit Junkie vibes with this, which is, it says, take the first step and admit that your spirit has you lit. Everything is more vibrant than you could ever fathom. Things are lining up and showing you the truth of all that is, and you are addicted to the rush. Enjoy the peace and liberation of enlightenment bliss. Use the affirmation, I am awakened and seeing new truths revealed. I am delighting in it all. spirit junkie vibe strong for that full moon in Libra. Okay, so we're gonna feel our intuition showing up, guiding the way. We're feeling more of our pieces to our peace found so that we can receive it and enjoy it and plant seeds around it to bring in more peace and more success and more abundance. So this is going to be a great week. We are feeling good and we are feeling that connection to source. So keep it up and let me know if there's anything I can do to serve and support you. You know, I offer one-on-one readings for all of you as well. The link is in my bio or the link is in the description to do that. Also feel like my guides are going to be pulling me away from readings one-on-one soon and only offering that for coaching clients and coaching containers and maybe some events. So keep in mind, things are shifting. If you've always wanted to work with me and you haven't gotten a chance to yet, this is the time to do so before things shift as far as pricing and, you know, my business format and just my availability. Honestly, my music is taking off right now and I've prayed for this. I've manifested this. So in preparation for that, I'm also allowing my spiritual business to start helping more people in a deeper way and doing it in a way that's really aligned to all the purpose that I have in this life, and to be able to do that with my music as well as a big one. So if you've always wanted to work with me, make sure you sign up for a consultation call for that coaching program or a one-on-one reading with me, or just reach out to me and let me know if you need some guidance on how to work with me, because it's time. It's time and I'm here for you. This is your sign. Let it be. All right. I love you so much. Thanks for joining. Have a great day and peace from Oro Grande Valley in California.